Hey guys, what's up? Phoenix here, and I'm back again, and I'm not actually in Tarkov, in fact I'm in Chrome, but today we're going to be going over the preliminary patch notes for patch 0.74. So, first and foremost, these are the preliminary patch notes, which means there may be more to come, things may be taken out, things may be added to the patch notes, but as far as we know, this is basically a relatively accurate estimate of what will be in patch 7.4 when it drops in the near future. Now, let's get straight to it. So, added has been a new helmet, the 6B47, which is a Russian variant of the Fast MT helmet. So, basically, I'm guessing this is going to fall somewhere in between the Kiva and the Fast MT helmet. There's a new NSPU-M night scope, which is something that has yet to be added to the game. So, we've got a thermal scope, which is pretty much useless, and we do have night vision, but we don't have any night scope, so it'll be really interesting to see how well this scope performs, what it can be attached to, all of that. There's a tube adapter for the AS valve, the Rotor 43, so that'll be, again, pretty cool to see how that affects the AS valve. The Surefire XC1 tactical flashlight, so it'll be cool comparing between this and the current existing flashlights in terms of lumens and the brightness they extend. There's the Glock Tactical GO21 combined flashlight and laser designator block. Well, obviously there's a flashlight and designator block, so the Glock's coming, and we'll get to that in a second. There's a new tactical grip, a new pistol grip, a muzzle brake. Now this is where things kind of get interesting. Added mechanics for weapon mods, exception and installation prevention at the moment for test purposes is only implemented on new weapons. I'm assuming this is basically going to be a way to change the fact, or change the way that people can mod weapons in raid, so rather than just pulling things off or not being able to pull things off with the right tool, you may be able to disassemble a gun in raid, take the parts you want and bring them with you. That is just speculation. That is nothing confirmed because, as is typical with Battlestate communications, the translation is fucking shocking. Anyway, added 5 new therapist quests. Pretty self-explanatory. And there are now maps of the shoreline location and the health resort in itself. So that'll be a map of the whole shoreline location, and by the looks of it, maps. There'll be an entirely different map for a specific purpose of looking at the health resort. Content that will be unlocked sometime after the launch of the patch. So basically something similar to what we saw with the thermal scope. The thermal scope was added in, and about a month after the patch, it was actually added to the traders. So this is something that I'm assuming will be very similar. So there may be some hype or backstory to both of these being added in. But the new trader mechanic, which basically is speculated to be dealing in euros, which is something that's cool and hasn't really got much of a use aside from containers. And finally, the Glock 17, the 9x19 pistol in standard issue kit and 30 modifications for it. This pistol we've been waiting for fucking months, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, by the fact that it's not being added in instantly, it's going to be available from the mechanic. Go figure. But yeah, this will be added in later, so not initially with the patch, unfortunately. There are some more server performance optimizations. There's the first iteration of network code optimization, and visual artifacts have been fixed. Insurance now displays correct time remaining, which is good. Gaining trader loyalty and its display has been fixed. Quick access panel is now properly displayed. And the complete and OK buttons are no longer duplicated, I can't speak, which is good. Deployment time increased to 20 seconds. Stack separation shows the total number of stacks, so just a few little bugs. When moving from the ladder, money is now moved to the stash via control click, which is good. At the lobby screen, which basically I'm assuming, what I can tell from this, is when you accept cash from therapist or prep, or when completing quests. Your friends now appear just below your nickname at the lobby screen, which is really, really cool. And you can now open containers, vests, whatever, at the item transfer screen. So when you come out of a scav raid, you can actually open shit up. You don't need to have half your stash there. The number of deaths and kills in the statistics is no longer duplicated, which is cool. And changes, so alt-click now sets equipment into the free character slot, which is good because basically as it stands now, you've got to right-click equip when it comes to helmets, vests, armor, whatever. Change priority of item moving. Control click now moves any magazine into the vest, not the fucking backpack. Again, really good to see, quality of life change. And you can now jump with broken legs, though you do take damage when landing. You can no longer hold your breath without aiming, which should fix that fucking issue you have where you skid because you're holding your breath. Friends are displayed at the top of global chat, and stamina recovery and the amount of stamina remaining depending on the amount of energy the character has. 0 energy, stamina recovers more slowly and gets spent faster. That looks like that's something that may be more of a kind of a factor in some of the later raids. Now, taking a look at the Glock pictures, this thing looks gorgeous. So, from what we can tell so far, you'll be able to attach sights to it, obviously a silencer. You'll also be able to attach that GL21 pistol and, or rather flashlight and laser designator. There is a drum mag, there is multiple attachments for the barrel, and multiple sights, and it looks like to be multiple mag variants as well. Obviously the drum, extended, beyond extended, and normal, going into here. And it looks just to be a fuck ton of attachments, which is really cool. So that'll be great to see once it's actually implemented, and being able to play around with it and see how it does damage wise. Anyway guys, that is basically everything in the patch. So this will be dropping at some point in the near future. These are typically released about a week before the patch comes out. So this was released 14 hours ago, so by the time this video goes up, about 5 days. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button if you have any questions, queries, doubtful points, suggestions, your own interpretation of this stuff, or whatever, chuck in the comments below. Anyway guys, like I said, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, I'll see you next time.